Hello. I've got you stuck in the steering wheel today. I'm so sorry. Because I'm in a different car today. So, sorry about that. But most people don't watch my videos anyway. So, you don't need to see my eyeballs, do you? Alright. So, went through a bit of a tumble the other day. I was driving our regular car, and it's a Kia Soul. I really love it because my wheelchair can pop in and out of the back really nice. So if I'm in a tight space, I can just pull it out behind us rather than having to stick it behind my seat and squeeze it in and out of the car and ding the side of the car. But I was right where I'm at now, leaving my husband's work with him. I just picked him up, and I smelled a little burning rubber at his work, and I'm like, is that me, or is it all the diesel trucks around here? And it was me, and we've been burning oil for the past 10,000 miles or so, where we'd have to go in every week and get our oil filled. And I kept telling the Kia, dealer, I'm like, this doesn't seem normal. There's no oil leaking out of there's a little bit of oil leaking out of our car, like a few drops, in our parking space at home, but this shouldn't be happening. And, yeah, so, and just so you know, I'm not blocking anything on my dashboard. The mileage is over here in this rental car, so I'm good. I'm not doing anything illegal. But, anyway, trying to get my train of thought back, ADHD. Okay, so, right here, I heard a big thud out the side of our car, literally right here where I'm sitting at this roundabout, getting ready to go on the freeway. And I knew that was something bad, but I'm like, nothing, no lights were going off, nothing changed. And I'm like, okay then, maybe we hit something, because there's a lot of debris on the road over here on Slater. A lot of debris. So maybe we ran over something and it got us in the tire and in the undercarriage. We still don't know. And we got about 6 miles down the road, and all of a sudden the oil pressure just bottomed out. Then the oil light came on, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And people were coming on the freeway, and I had to cross between them to get off the road, because all of a sudden I couldn't get above the car was slowing down whether I wanted it to or not, and I couldn't push the accelerator. It wouldn't give me any gas, and then it started smoking, like there was smoke everywhere, and I'm like, yeah, we need to stop. And I got the car over to the side of the road, and Leon was like, what are you doing? Why are you pulling over? And I'm like, sweetheart, can you just trust me and my driving ability that I'm doing what we need to do here? And he's like, okay. We work. So, and when they call us, we're going to have to, after work, book it in this car down there because we'll only have like 20 minutes to get there before they close. But hopefully they'll let us pick up our car, you know, even if the mechanic's not there, and we can ask questions later. I don't know how it's gonna go. I haven't been through this before, so, but, you know, hopefully they had all the parts in that they needed, and hopefully it's not like $1 million, and hopefully we don't need a whole new car. You know, because we're not the first owners of this car. It's only a 3-year-old car, but somebody had it before us, and it was having some electrical issues when we got it. And Kia was like, "Oh no, nothing's wrong. We don't know what's wrong." So Leon and I didn't trust Kia's opinions to begin with. They're probably just covering their butts because they sold us the car. But it's what they do. So anyway, that's what's going on with me, and